Good morning, children. Today we will begin with the first chapter, class 12th, first book, and it is about the Harappan civilization. The name of the chapter is Brick, Beads and the Bones. So let's begin with the first chapter today. Now you can see that the name of the chapter is Brick, Beads and the Bones. You can see that this is the map of India, and here I am telling you the location of Harappan civilization. You can see that this is a river. The name of the river is Indus. It goes like this. So a civilization which developed around the river Indus and its tributaries, these are the tributaries, and that civilization is known by the name of Harappan civilization. It is also called as the Indus Valley civilization. And in this chapter we are going to study about this ancient civilization of India. So it lies in the Pakistan and northwest part of India. So that is the location of Harappan civilization. Mainly it covers the area of this area like Gujarat, Rajasthan and Haryana, and maximum part of Pakistan is covered under this Harappan civilization. The name of the chapter is Brick, Beads and Bones. So the name itself is symbolic in nature. Why we have chosen the name Bricks, Beads and the Bones? Because the history of any region is constructed in some ways. There are some sources which are utilized by us to know about the history of a particular region. And generally the sources are three. First is material sources, second is written sources, and the third is oral sources. So if we talk about the Harappan civilization, since the civilization occurred 5,000 years ago, so we cannot have at all oral sources. Written things are there. The script was invented by the people of Harappan civilization, but that script could not be deciphered till date. So we do not have written sources as well. So we are entirely dependent on the material sources. And in material sources, only those sources or those things can be present till date which are not easily biodegradable. And bricks, which is baked brick, that cannot be easily biodegraded. Bones can also not be easily biodegraded, and beads are also found in a good state because these are also not easily degradable. As a result, the chapter is constructed on the basis of these material remains, and these include mainly bricks, beads and the bones. That's why the name of the chapter is Brick, Beads and the Bones. You can see that these are the different kind of beads which were manufactured by the people of Harappan civilization, and these were made up of many types of materials. So these are available to us. These are the stones. You can see that the cubical shaped stones are there, and they were mainly the weight of the Harappan civilizations. The things used to be measured with the help of these weights, and these were made up of the chert, which is a kind of a stone. So these are the stone blades which were used by the Harappan people. So these things are available to us through various excavations, and this chapter is entirely reconstructed on the basis of these material remains. As a result, the chapter is named after it, that is Brick, Beads and the Bones. Indus Valley civilization is also known as the Harappan civilization. Why it is called Harappan civilization? There is a story. Because Harappa is a place in the Indus Valley civilization, and the first place which was discovered, that was the Harappa. As a result, the civilization is named after it, and it is known as the Indus Valley Harappan civilization, because it is named after the Harappa city. That is the first location which was discovered. As a result, it is also known as the Harappan civilization. It started flourishing along with the river Indus, that is now in Pakistan, around 2600 BCE. So there are three phases in Harappan civilization that we will also discuss in further slides. Harappan civilization was the largest Bronze Age civilization in the world. Iron was not known to them. That's why this is a Bronze Age civilization. Now you can see that this is the exact map of Harappan civilization, and these are various places which are important places in Harappan civilization. This is Harappa, that lies in the northern side of Pakistan. This was the first place which was discovered in this civilization, and that's why the entire civilization is named after this place, that is the Harappa. Manda, that is also in the northern Pakistan. Mohenjo-daro, that is the second most important place which was discovered by the archaeologists, and it also belongs to the Harappan civilization. We will also read about the Mohenjo-daro in this chapter. Then after independence, various places were also discovered in India, because when India got partitioned, the maximum part of the Harappan civilization went to Pakistan. As a result, the Indian archaeology got a setback and no research could be done for a long period of time. Then our archaeologists further found some more sites in India which were also belonging to the Harappan civilization, and now they were excavated, and these are also studied by the archaeologists. So we will discuss about them also, like Rakhi Gadi, which is an important site in Hisar, that is in Haryana. Banawali, it is in Fatehabad district of Haryana. Kalibanga, that is in Rajasthan, on the border of Rajasthan and Pakistan. Lothal, which is an important site in Gujarat. Apart from that, Dholavira, which is a recently discovered site, it is also an important site of Harappan civilization. So these are the important sites. Apart from that, there were some other sites like the Balakot, Chahundado, where was a workshop located of Harappan civilization. So these are the important sites, and generally maps are being asked from these sites. But we can see that the civilization was not in the Gangetic Valley. The entire civilization was situated in the Indus Valley, that is in the northwestern side of India as well as Pakistan. So Harappa was the first place which was discovered by the archaeologists. That's why the entire civilization is named after Harappa. It was an urban civilization, means Harappa was also an urban area, as well as Mohenjo-daro was also an urban area. So it was an urban civilization, and city used to be quite vast in Harappan civilization as compared to the Mesopotamian civilization, and they were well planned than the Mesopotamian civilization. After 1900, most of the sites, these urban sites, were abandoned. They were left by the people due to some reasons, and what were those reasons, that we will discuss in this chapter also. By 1900 BCE, major part of the Harappan civilization ended. And what were the causes of the end of this Harappan civilization, that will also be discussed in this chapter. Now we will discuss the periods of the Harappan civilization. The periodization of Harappan civilization was also done, and according to that periodization, Harappan civilization was divided into the three parts: the early civilization, the mature Harappan civilization, and the late Harappan civilization. So what was the exact period of these three periods of Harappan civilization, that we will discuss here. So the civilization is dated between 2600 BC to 1900 BC. The period of the civilization is broadly divided in the three periods. First is the early Harappan culture, that was before 2600 BCE, means when it was not fully developed civilization. At that time there was civilization, and that is known as the early Harappan civilization, which was older than the 2600 BCE. But from 2600 BCE to 1900 BCE, the matured phase of Harappan civilization can be seen, and this is known as the matured Harappan culture. Then comes the late Harappan culture, and it is seen after the 1900 BCE. And there was deterioration of this culture after 1900 BCE, and most of the places and cities which were occupied by the people in the mature period of Harappan civilization, they were abandoned, and they displaced from that place and they moved to another places, and that was the deterioration or decline of the Harappan civilization, and that was in rural in nature, but mature Harappan civilization was urban in nature. Then comes the subsistence strategy. If the people used to live in a large number in this civilization, so how they used to fulfill their basic needs, from where they used to earn their livelihood, so that all we will discuss under this heading, subsistence strategy. यानी कि वो अपना जीवन यापन कैसे करते थे, किस तरह की ऑक्यूपेशन वो करते थे, अगर खेती करते थे तो उसमें क्या बोते थे, तो उस तरह की सारी चीज़ें हम इसमें डिस्कस करेंगे। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द सब्सिस्टेंस स्ट्रेटजी ऑफ द पीपल एंड इट इज़ ऑल अबाउट द इकोनॉमिक लाइफ ऑफ दैट पीरियड। Subsistence strategies of the people included hunting and gathering. So this is one of the most primitive form of livelihood. They used to do hunting and gathering. Then they also started cultivation, pastoralism, in which they used to rear up some animals, and distribution of these products were also done by the Harappan people. So all these things were included in the Harappan civilization, and we will discuss about their occupation. People relied on many plants and animals. So what kind of plants they used to grow, what kind of animals they used to rear up, whether they used to do the fisheries, they were also doing agriculture for their food. So what kind of food items available to the Harappan civilization. So archaeologists have made a number of studies in this direction, and they collected some evidences on the basis of which we have reconstructed their subsistence strategy, that what kind of foods were available to the Harappan people, what kind of cultivation was done, how agriculture was done, what was the agricultural technology. All these things we will discuss here. First of all, there are evidences of bones of animals which prove that people consumed meat also. It means the Harappan people were consuming both the diets, vegetarian as well as the non-vegetarian diets. So the evidence of the non-vegetarian diet is the bones of the animals which have been recovered from the sites which were excavated, especially the houses which were excavated from the Harappan civilization. We have received the bones of the animals, which indicates that the animals used to be consumed by the people of Harappan civilization. So who were these animals? These animals like the fish, boar, that is the pig. Apart from the ghadial has also been obtained from the homes of the Harappan civilization people, and it's not clear whether they used to consume the ghadial or it was kept there for some other purpose. It's not clear till date. Apart from that, we have also recovered terracotta models of oxen and plough. So oxen and ploughs, terracotta toys have been obtained from the sites of Harappan civilization, and these two things indicate that they must be used in the cultivation, because plough was used for cultivation, so they were aware about the cultivation technology, and oxen was used to pull the plough, so that kind of technology was also known to the Harappan people. Then we have also recovered some sort of grains from various sites of Harappan civilization. So what sort of grains were recovered? You can see from the images. We will discuss about them. The Harappan ate wide range of plants and animal products, including the fish bones we have been recovered from the houses of the Harappan people. Archaeologists also found grain such as the wheat, and generally in northwestern India till date we consume the wheat. So wheat was the staple food. Apart from that, barley, lentil, chickpea and sesamum. All these grains were consumed by the people of Harappan civilization. And in Gujarat and Rajasthan, millets were also found. Millet means mote anaj, which includes the bajra. So the kind of the food like bajra was also consumed by the people of Harappan civilization. So how we came to know about this? For that we took the help of botanists also. So archaeobotanists both joined together and they excavated and they draw the inferences that such kind of grains were consumed by the people of Harappan civilization. Bones of cattle like fish, fowl, that is a kind of bird, sheep, goat, buffalo, pig, deer and bear are also found in the Harappan sites. Studies, this is not bear, this is boar, and indicates that these animals were either domesticated or hunted by the Harappan people, because you can see that there are some animals which are wild in nature, so they must be hunted or they must be captured by people of Harappan civilization from the forest. So they were also involved in the hunting expedition as well. Now we will discuss that what kind of agricultural technology was used by the Harappan people to grow the grains, to fulfill their needs from the agriculture. We discussed about the subsistence strategy, that they used to cultivate a variety of grains. So what kind of agricultural technology was used by these people, that we will discuss in this slide. You can see that, and there is an image, and this is the image of terracotta bull. So this is an image of bull which tells us that they started domesticating the animals, especially the oxens, and these oxens were used in the agriculture. So this all we will discuss in this slide. First of all, agriculture was the main occupation of the Harappan peoples, and that was an agrarian society. The prevalence of the agriculture is indicated by the finds of grain that we have discussed in the last slide, that a variety of grains were consumed by the Harappan people, and these grains were produced in the agriculture. It is very difficult to reconstruct the actual agricultural practice carried out by the Harappans because there are less direct sources of the agriculture, but we are having a number of indirect sources of agriculture through which we come to know about the agricultural technology. Like the terracotta sculpture of the bull and their representation on the seals indicate that bull was known to the Harappans. So the indication of bull is seen also on the seals, as well as it is also found in the terracotta toys. So the toys are generally made up of those made for those items which are known to us. जैसे कि हम जीवन में खिलौने का इस्तेमाल करते हैं, खिलौने उसी चीज़ के बनते हैं जो चीज़ें ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्ट करती हैं. इट मीन्स द बुल वॉज एग्जिस्टेड इन द सोसाइटी, द ऑक्सन्स वर एग्जिस्टिंग इन द सोसाइटी, and they were domesticated. So there is only one reason why the oxens used to be domesticated. They were domesticated either for the transport or for the agriculture. Apart from that, we have also recovered the terracotta toys of the plows, bullock carts. So all these things signifies that the people of the Harappan civilization used to have the bulls, oxens and bullock carts, and they were also doing the cultivation with the help of these oxens. So that was the agricultural technology which was used by the Harappan people. From this, the archaeologists assume that the oxens were used for the plowing. Then we have also found a plowed field. This is a plowed field. एक हल चला हुआ खेत हमें मिला है, and that we have obtained from the Kalibanga. So where is Kalibanga? That is in Rajasthan, near the border of Pakistan. So in Hanumangarh district of Rajasthan, we have recovered plowed field which is recovered from the Kalibanga. And when we analyze the stratigraphy, that under which depth it has been found, so this symbolizes, or this tells us that it belongs to the Harappan civilization. So this plowed field was plowed during the Harappan times. It means they used to cultivate the land with the help of the plow and the oxen, and it was a scientific cultivation. Till date the cultivation is done in this manner also. अभी भी इसी तरीके से खेती की जुताई की जाती है जैसे कि हड़प्पन करते थे. So moreover, the archaeologists have also found terracotta models of the plow that we have discussed at the sites of Cholistan and Banauli, that is in Haryana. Evidence of the plowed field associated with the early Harappan levels have also found at Kalibanga, that is in Rajasthan, and this is the plowed field. The field had two set of furrows. You can see that there are two set of furrows. This is one set in this manner, and this is another set. And you can see that both the sets are intersecting in this way at the right angle. So that is a way of cultivation, and it is believed that simultaneously two kind of crop used to be grown at the same time. Like in this furrow another variety of crop used to be grown, and in this set of furrow another crop was grown. So the two crops were simultaneously grown, and it may be a system of crop rotation also, it may be a system of scientific farming also. So it means the people of Harappa used to be very good in cultivation and in agriculture. Most of the Harappan sites were located in the semi-arid regions because northwestern part of India receives a very less amount of rainfall. The same is the case with the Pakistan. As a result, the wheat cultivation, barley cultivation, gram cultivation was done in this area. And we can imagine that wheat, barley and gram are cultivated in the Rabi season, and that is the winter season. And winter season is a dry season. As a result, they required irrigation, and for irrigation they must have built some system of water and the water used to be fetched from the river. So there was a system of canal also, and one such canal system was found at Shortughai, that is in Afghanistan. It means to increase the agricultural productivity, they have also built the canals. And apart from that, the canals have been recovered from the Shortughai, that is in Afghanistan. So such kind of canals have been recovered from various sites of Harappa, mainly from Shortughai, that is in Afghanistan. So traces of canals have been found at Harappan site of Shortughai in Afghanistan. It is also likely that water was drawn from the wells and was used for irrigation. You can see that this is a small canal and this is a well. So water from the well used to be taken to the field through these small canals also. As a result, a variety of foods used to be grown with the help of this kind of irrigation. Besides water reservoirs found in Dholavira, Gujarat, that is a recently discovered site, and a large tanks of waters have been found in this site, and it is believed that water harvesting was done in Dholavira, that is in Gujarat, because it is also a semi-arid area. Processing of food required grinding equipment as well as vessels for mixing, blending and cooking. These equipments were made up of the stone, metal and terracotta. So these are the utilitarian objects which were required for grinding the grains, mixing the grains, making the food, cooking the food. These were also made with the help of metal as well as with the help of the stone and terracotta. So we discussed about the Dholavira, that in Dholavira a large number of reservoirs have been found where water used to be stored. So this is a layout plan of Dholavira. You can see that all side of the Dholavira there used to be water reservoirs, there used to be tanks. They were used for storing the water, and later on this water was used for irrigation as well as for the domestic purpose. Now we will discuss about a major site of Harappan civilization, and its name is Mohenjo-daro. So we will discuss about the Mohenjo-daro. This is a planned urban center, and this lies in the southern part of Pakistan, especially in the state of Sindh, and just above the Karachi. So this is the town that is known as the Mohenjo-daro. The literal meaning of the Mohenjo-daro is mound of dead, means the mound of dead people, because a lot of skeletons have been recovered from this place. Now we will do a case study of the Mohenjo-daro. The most spectacular part of Harappan structure, the large scale town layout. The city of Mohenjo-daro was divided into two parts, and these two parts were known as the upper town, that is also known as the citadel, and the lower town, that we will understand by studying the layout of Mohenjo-daro also. Citadel, what was citadel? It was built on a mud brick platform. It was walled and separated from the lower town. So it was small in size, but it was on a high platform. The citadel was probably used for special public purposes, especially the rituals. The lower town was walled, and several buildings have been recovered from the lower town. Some were having the foundations, but some were missing. And some of the houses in the lower town were also made up on the platform, but rest of the houses were made up on the ground also, and this used to be in the lower part, but the citadel was situated on an upper part, and it was situated on a man-made platform. You can see that this is the visual of Mohenjo-daro, and this is the citadel, and it is on a high platform. So this kind of excavation have been done. So these are the foundation of a large building. So what kind of buildings were found at Mohenjo-daro, and what were the buildings, or what were the special features of the citadel, that we will discuss. So this is a layout plan of Mohenjo-daro. This is also given in your book. You can see that the entire Mohenjo-daro was divided into two parts. This is called as the lower town, and lower town was much larger in the size. And this is upper town, which was quite small in size. But these contours, which are very close to each other, these lines are known as the contour lines. And if the contour lines are close to each other, it means this is a raised part. And so we can see that this is the part of the town which was situated on a raised platform. And this platform was not naturally made, rather it was human made. And this is the lower town, which was much bigger in size, but there is no traces of the platforms, though some houses were having platforms on which they were situated, but most of the houses were without the platform. And you can see that the contour lines are also shown here, but they are away from each other, which tells us that this is having a gentle slope. So this was a plain area, but here the contours are very close to each other. It tells us that the platform was quite high. Next is the town planning of Mohenjo-daro that we will discuss. So the platform which was made for the citadel, it was quite large in size, and such a large platform cannot be made easily. So a large scale labor was organized for it. So it could not be organized by an ordinary man or ordinary person. So the large scale labor must have been mobilized by a ruling authority. So we can say that the citadel was also a place of the town where ruling elites used to live. Then bricks, which is an important feature of the Harappan civilization, that was used for building these houses, and you can see that these are the bricks. This is a remain of the Mohenjo-daro and Harappan civilization. You can see that there are bricks, and the speciality of the brick was that it was uniform in size and shape throughout the Harappan civilization. So what do we draw the inferences from the uniform size and shape of the bricks? That there was uniformity throughout the Harappan civilization, and this uniformity cannot be easily brought. It could have been brought by the ruling authority. It means there was some ruling authority which used to regulate the size and shape of the brick. The roads and the streets in the lower town were laid out in the grid pattern intersecting at the right angle. So how the streets were made in the lower town? They were made in the lower towns, and the streets used to intersect at the right angle. So this tells us that there was a good town planning which was missing in the Mesopotamian civilization. If the streets are laid down and they are intersecting at the right angle, and along with the street there were some drainage were also found along with the street where wastewater of the city used to be carried out. So this tells us about a good town planning. So Harappan civilization was having a good town planning as compared to the Mesopotamian civilization, and it is believed that the streets and drains were laid out first and thereafter the city was established. So that was a better form of town planning. So now we will discuss about the lower town also. The lower town of Mohenjo-daro provides example of the residential buildings, means common people used to live in the lower town. Most of these were centered on a courtyard. So we are here discussing about the domestic architecture, means like there used to be a central courtyard and how rooms used to be around this central courtyard, and these rooms were not having any window. So outside window was not there, just to keep the privacy of the room, and the rooms used to open in this courtyard but window was not there, and the light used to enter in the room through the doors only, not through the windows. And the entrance of the house was not just in front of the courtyard, rather it used to be in the side so that nobody can peep into the house, and to keep the privacy of the house, the interior was not visible from the main entrance. The house interior was not visible. Different activities like cooking, weaving, etc. used to be done in this courtyard. So the courtyard used to be the center of various activities. It may be the ritual activities, it may be the weaving, it may be the stitching, it may be the some sort of rituals like singing also. There were no windows along the walls on the ground that we discussed, so privacy could be maintained. And some houses have also been recovered from the Harappan sites, and where the staircases used to reach up to the second story. So multi-storied building used to be there also. So this is a layout of the common household of Harappan civilization which have been recovered from the Mohenjo-daro. You can see that this is the main entrance of the house. So, and this is the courtyard. So we can see that from here the courtyard is not visible. On the sides of the courtyard, these are the rooms: 1 room, 2 room, 3 room, 4, 5, and all were opening in the courtyards. And courtyard used to be the center of various activities like cooking, weaving, stitching, etc. And you can see that there are bathrooms also, and there used to be one room, like this is one room where well was also there. So the water used to be taken from this well, and this well could be approached from outside as well as from the inside. Means if a neighbor want to get water from the well, or if a passerby want to get water from the well, he can take that. And it was also approachable from the inside. And there used to be a drain which used to carry the wastewater of the house to the street drain, that we will discuss. In some houses, remains of the staircases have also been found. You can see that here staircases are visible. So to reach up to the second story, we are also having staircases which have been recovered from these sites. And it is estimated that in only Mohenjo-daro there are around 700 wells. Means each house was having its own well from where it used to get the water. But some houses who were not having the well, they could get the water from their neighbor or from somewhere else. Now we will discuss about the drainage. So drainage is also one of the special feature of Harappan civilization. You can see that this is a specimen of the drainage. You can see that this drain comes from a house and it joins the main drain of the street. The drains were generally made up of the bricks. You can see the bricks, and they were covered with the stone slabs also. And these used to be cleaned regularly so that the water can flow without any obstacle. So the street drain was joined by the drain of an individual house. So how the system used to work, like one drain which used to come from the individual house that used to join the main drain of the street, like this is the street drain, and this is the individual house drain. So it joins the main drain. But on the way there used to be a sump. So sump was a kind of ditch. It may be rectangular or circular shape. So the drain which used to come from the house, that used to carry waste of the house, but there were some solid waste used to be there. So the water used to be collected in this sump so that the solid waste can be sedimented and the clean water can reach up to this street drain, so that there cannot be blockage in this street drain and water can flow without any obstacle. So the sump system was also adopted by the Harappan people. So we can see that the Harappan people were very good at town planning as well as in their domestic architecture. So they were also good in the drainage system, and an efficient drainage system was there in the Harappan civilization. This we have already discussed, like very long drainage channels were provided at intervals with the sumps for cleaning. The sump where the solid waste used to be accumulated in the house, that used to be regularly cleaned by the people of the house. In smaller settlements such as Lothal, the house were built on mud bricks and drains were made up of the burnt bricks, because they used to carry the water. That's why drains were mainly made up of the baked bricks. Little heaps of the material, mostly sand, have been frequently found alongside the drains, because the drains used to be cleaned, but the waste which used to be taken out of the drains, that was not carried out of the city, so that used to be generally laid down near the drain in the street itself. So heaps of such waste have been recovered from the sites of the Harappan civilization. So we can see that there was an efficient town planning as well as efficient drainage system in the Harappan civilization. You can further understand about the drainage system from this layout also, this image also. You can see that these are the ordinary houses, and along with the street, this is the main drain, and this is the drain which comes out of the house, where the wastewater of the house goes to the main street drain and it is taken out from the city to outside. You can see that this is another layout of the lower town. Layout of the citadel, sorry, it is not of the lower town, rather this is the layout of the citadel. You can see that this is the great bath which we have found in the citadel. We will discuss further about the great bath. These are the streets, very straight streets used to be there, and in the streets there is also the drainage, and you can see that the streets are intersecting at the right angle. So this tells us about the town planning of Harappan civilization.